Welcome to the LIT Gaelic grounds for the Bonsecures Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship clash between Ahane and Doon. Beautiful afternoon here at the LIT Gaelic grounds. It's John Keoghan commentary. Delighted to be joined by Jerome O'Connell for this game this afternoon. Jerome, must-win game for Ahane. Obviously, ramifications there if they don't. They're looking at a relegation playoff against Ballybrown to go down to Section B, but Doon on the other hand, after that impressive win against Patrickswell first time out, trying to secure semi-final place. Great game in prospect.
Yeah, great game in prospect, and maybe on paper it would appear that Ahane have more to play for, but I think Doon will be just as anxious to keep that winning momentum, move directly to a semi-final. It takes another layer of danger off your quest to win the title, and I think they'll very much just want to build on last week or 2 weeks ago as it is now, but and show that it wasn't a fluke. I mean, it was an impressive display. You want to back that up again the next day out, and I suppose if we do say anything about Doon of recent years, maybe that inconsistency has been an issue, so I've no doubt they will want to drive on and win again.
A couple of interesting things with the team sheets which we'll go through now in a moment. Changes on each side from the advertised programmes.
The referee is just after getting an incredible strike of the ball, totally by accident, turned around, and he's after taking a very sore belted slither to the side of his head, just down getting a little bit of treatment at the moment, totally accidental, but he certainly fell down.
We might have a referee change here. Jason Ahane, there may be a bit of blood as well. We'll update you with that as soon as we can. Just after the team, starting with Ahane, who show one change from the advertised programme. In goals, Adam O'Brien. Full back line, Jeff Enright, Padraig Harnett and Evan O'Leary. Half back line, Colm Carroll, Kieran Barry and Andrew Shannon. Dan Morrissey is partnered by Mark O'Halloran in midfield. Half forward line, Dan Minahan, Tom Morrissey and Ronan Fox. Mark Donnellan, Evan Enright, the captain of the Ahane team at full forward, and wearing number 19, coming in for William Brennan, is the vastly experienced former inter-county star Niall Moran. Over to the Doon side now, that shows two changes from their advertised programme. In goals, Owen McNamara, Chris Thomas, Tommy Hayes and Pádraig Ryan. In the full back line, Patrick Cummins is in for Mikey O'Brien, who hasn't recovered in time from a concussion he picked up against Patrickswell 2 weeks ago. Darragh O'Donovan and Richie English join Cummins in that half back line. Cian O'Donovan has had a late reprieve from the red card he received in that game versus the Well last night, I think it was, that he got to go ahead to play. He's joined in midfield by Eddie Stokes. And the big news for this Doon side is the absence of their captain, Barry Murphy, sustained a cruciate ligament injury 2 weeks ago, and he's replaced now by Josh Ryan. A huge blow for that Doon side, as mentioned. Cormac Ryan and the vastly impressive Adam English, who scored 16 points on his senior hurling championship debut last time out, is the remainder of the half forward line with Doon. And full forward line, Pat Ryan, Dean Coleman and Jack Ryan. Jerome, just very briefly before we get underway, it looks like Jason O'Mahony will be fit enough to continue as referee for the moment. Maybe a bit of blood on the nose from what we see here in the commentary box. But that Doon team, it was flagged earlier in the week that Barry Murphy has suffered a cruciate ligament injury. It's a huge loss for Doon, especially Barry coming into some serious form.
Yeah, it is, and I think I spoke with someone before their game last week, one of the club officials, who was saying it was 6 years since they'd had an entire senior hurling panel injury free. Here we are 2 weeks later, and they're down two guys through injury, and they've had a lot of bad luck in recent years with injuries, and when they have a full crew on the field, they're a formidable outfit. There's no doubt about it. Barry Murphy, Mikey O'Brien, both involved in Limerick senior hurling squads in recent years, both huge talents. There's no doubt about it. They're a loss. You're bringing in Patrick Cummins and Josh Ryan, both more than capable hurlers, but you want your best on the field, and it is a blow to them. There's no doubt about it. But they will look to use that adversity and bounce back from it. You probably don't hear too many complaints from the Pierce at the moment, and they're down maybe 6-7 players.
Yeah, and the Ahane side as well, Jerome. Niall Moran coming in. It's no surprise to us. Niall Moran now 38 years of age. He's a vastly experienced player with Ahane and Limerick, obviously, but a momentum builder as well for this Ahane side that are very reliant on the two Morrissey brothers. Yeah,
they are, and I'd be interested to see exactly where maybe the two Morrissey brothers line out today. I felt maybe using Dan at midfield perhaps isn't getting the best out of him. Ball can bypass you in midfield. I'd love to see maybe if they tried him at 6 or at number 3, would it make a difference to him? But let's see how they'll actually take the field in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, a couple of minutes away from throwing here at the LIT Gaelic grounds. Looks like Pat Ryan has taken over the captain's armband, I think, Jerome, in place of Barry Murphy, and of course Evan Enright, I should say, the Ahane captain. So just both teams getting ready for the toss with referee Jason O'Mahony. There's a very strong breeze at the LIT Gaelic grounds this afternoon. It's heading from left to right as you see it on screen, and of course into the city end. So Jerome, it's stronger than what we've seen in games the last couple of nights here. Obviously in the Pierce and Valley Brown last night, and on Friday night South Liberties against Gareth Spillane. Given the strength of the breeze, it will be an advantage for whichever team has it.
Yeah, we're 3 weekends into the club hurling, and I haven't seen the flagpoles, dragging the flags at that velocity so far, and it will be a benefit to either side, whoever has in first half.
Pause now for our Anaveen. All set to go here at the LIT Gaelic grounds. Jason O'Mahony has definitely recovered from that stray slitter that he got full whack into the nose by the looks of things, so he's okay. And it's going to be Ahane playing from left to right as you see it on screen. There's going to be a few switches as well straight away. We're seeing Adam English being picked up by Kieran Barry. That's one to look out for. So Dan Marcy lining out at midfield as well. So here we go. Moments away from throwing here in the Sponsecures Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship clash between Ahane and Doon. Doon the heavy favourites for this game, but Ahane really in need of a victory here. And a ruck developing immediately after Jason O'Mahony throws the ball in. It's Ahane that have come away with possession, and it is Kieran Barry inside to Evan Enright. Enright pulls it at first time. It's going to stay in play there just before the end line, and Tommy Hayes for Doon has possession. He goes low looking for Richie English at wing back. English a good touch and control, beats a couple of players for a hand pass. It's not the best hand pass, but Darragh O'Donovan flicks it back to English. Good work from Richie English inside to Cian O'Donovan, who's got a runner in front. That runner is Cormac Ryan. Now a chance developing for Cormac Ryan. Good hook inside there by Evan Enright, but it's breaking again for Cormac Ryan. Maybe an early goal chance here for Doon. Ahane are getting back in numbers though and should come away with possession. The kick comes and it's picked up by Dan Marcy. Just a little flick from Marcy. Doesn't go to Ronan Fox. It's intended target, and Adam English is on the run straight away. It's English with the shot. Adam English with the opening score here. Beautiful score from English, Jerome, and what we've been accustomed to see.
Yeah, great finish for him. He had the free already got as well. Jason O'Mahony was playing advantage, but I suppose sloppy from a hand's point of view. Had ball in hand and got turned over. You need to clear your lines when you have your ball in defensive like that.
Big puck out from Adam O'Brien, but it's picked up back there fairly easily by Patrick Cummins. Pass from Cummins though doesn't go to its intended target, Cian O'Donovan. English with a one-handed flick keeps it in play, but it's Ahane that have it with Ronan Fox. Fox with the first chance of the game for Ahane, and the nod comes from the umpire and the white flag is raised. Great score from Ronan Fox. Perfect reply, Jerome. The two number 12s straight into the scoring. Yeah, and just what Ahane needs. They're playing with that breeze. They can't allow Doon to build any sort of an early momentum. They have to be the ones that are dominating the scoreboard. Big puck out from Owen McNamara, but Kieran Barry is there for Ahane. Does well to pick that one up initially, but doesn't go to plan, and Cormac Ryan picks up the ball for Doon. It's a ball inside now. Goal chance straight away here for Eddie Stokes. Good block back there. Chance now still developing for Doon. It's flicked inside looking for the full forward there. That's Dean Coleman, but Ahane have managed to get this away. It's Dan Marcy now on to Ronan Fox. Fox goes along with this one straight down in towards Tom Marcy, who's operating at the edge of the square at the moment. Just batted away by Tommy Hayes to Darragh Donovan, and O'Donovan to Chris Thomas. Thomas now has options in front. It's a loose man there in midfield is Cian O'Donovan. O'Donovan now switching play, looking for the corner, and Jack Ryan, but the Ahane defender is out in front. That's good work from that Ahane defender. Good hook in there from Jack Ryan. It forces the sideline ball, but good work from Evan O'Leary, Jerome. Important that he got out in front of Jack Ryan that first ball. Yeah, good. I mean, that's the first ball that the handful backline have won. Ball has gone in there twice in the opening 2.5 minutes. You felt there was goal opportunities for Doon on both occasions, so that's a good, clear defensive win for Ahane. So just waiting on this sideline ball to happen. Slitter had gone out into the Mackey stand from that clearance by Evan O'Leary. So Richie English takes this one short to Pádraig Ryan. Ryan into the middle to Darragh O'Donovan. O'Donovan has options, and that option is Tommy Hayes and Chris Thomas. Thomas has it now, and he's going straight down towards Pat Ryan. Doesn't get a hand in it. Good control from Pádraig Harnett. Great work from the full-back. Delivers long, looking for Morrissey, and that's Tom Morrissey coming out. Darragh O'Donovan in close proximity to Tom Morrissey. Morrissey still going with the possession though, gets the hand pass away to Niall Moran. Moran immediately under pressure from O'Donovan of Darragh this time. Gets the flick outside to Kieran Barry. Chance for a hand to go ahead here. Kieran Barry with the strike. Kieran Barry with the point for a hand. Jerome, a very well worked score.
Yeah, and that's better from a hand. The pressure that Tom Morrissey was under, still one possession with 3 or 4 around him. The same for Niall Moran. Recycles the ball. Great crossfield vision to pick out Kieran Barry, and he's got a man marking job on Adam English, but he's going to love that point.
And now it's at the short puck out with Pádraig Ryan. Ryan goes into the middle, controlled, and it just falls to Niall Moran from 45 metres out. Niall Moran made a career of popping over scores like that for Ahane and Limerick and Jerome. No one's surprised at how that finished up.
No, and that's exactly what they need. They will need Niall Moran to be buzzing. He can use, he's got the distance. He can use this wind, and that's the exact start that Ahane would have wanted.
And Adam English with a glorious catch from that puck out. Under pressure, immediate air foul, says referee Jason O'Mahony. And just a bit of over-exuberance from Ahane captain Evan Enright with that challenge. So a chance now for Darragh O'Donovan and Jerome even into the breeze. Darragh O'Donovan will fancy himself maybe dropping this over or around the edge of the square. Yeah,
it'd be good test to see exactly how strong this breeze is. He's inside his own 65, so this will be quite a score, but hard to judge this breeze.
Strike from Darragh O'Donovan. It's a fine strike anyway. Does it have the accuracy? Sure does, and there was plenty to spare on that one as well, Jerome. We still don't know if the wind is strong, but the strike was better.
Yeah, that's a great score because, looking at the flags all around the stadium here, they seem very much very strongly in favour of Ahane, so that's a huge strike of a free.
And that puck out has gone all the way down to Niall Moran. Moran from the sideline on that far side. It's Moran with the shot and just to the right and wide. Ahane, even though difficult opportunity as it was, will be hoping that they can go over the bar. We're back with Doon. A sharp puck out to Pádraig Ryan by Owen McNamara. Into the middle it goes. A chance now for Eddie Stokes to deliver into the full forward line. Pat Ryan was on the run early. The touch isn't one of his best, but he still comes out with a Pat Ryan. There's room to run into for Pat Ryan here. Chance of a point. He goes for the pass. Goal chance for Jack Ryan. It's gone to the left and wide. And it's very clear early on here, Jerome. Doon are looking for goals.
Yeah, that's the third time. Pat Ryan could have taken the point. He had turned. He had lost his marker. It was a simple finish for him, but he looked up and he was looking for guys. They're goal hungry.
Indeed, but it still remains a hand. 3 points to 2 in front. Coming up to 6 minutes played, and Adam O'Brien's puck out goes more down the middle this time. Darragh O'Donovan is there, but it's won inside by Mark Donnellan. The shot comes in from Niall Moran. He missed one a moment ago, Jerome. He's not going to make too many mistakes from that distance.
No, and Manny's the game we've covered across the last 15 years or more, and when Niall Moran is on form, Ahane are often on form, and he's been very, very prominent so far.
Long puck out aimed towards Josh Ryan, but it's going to break for Ahane. Their corner back there, Jeff Enright. Enright hooked by Jack Ryan, and Jack Ryan coming up with the turnover nearly. It's bounced well for Jeff Enright, and he's going to be able to get a clearance in. It's not his best when it comes to Cian O'Donovan. O'Donovan met by Niall Moran, but O'Donovan steps inside to his midfield partner, Eddie Stokes. Stokes, we know, likes to run. We've seen him with Limerick over the years at underage level. It's into Adam English. Well hooked. Ball comes to Pat Ryan, though. Ryan sniffing out another goal. English now as well. But back there again for Ahane is Evan O'Leary. It's a low one out to Andrew Shanahan on that left wing back. It's a good ball from Shanahan to Ronan Fox, and Fox now finally with a bit of space for Ahane goes straight down the line looking for Tom Morrissey. It's a deliberate play. Good work from Tommy Hayes to get out in front, but Morrissey is there yet again. We've seen it so often for Tom Morrissey over the last few years with Limerick and with Ahane. Well hooked there though by Tommy Hayes, and it's gone out over the sideline. Great battle there between Tommy Hayes and Tom Morrissey there, Jerome, but Hayes getting the better of him on this occasion.
Yeah, very tenacious. In fairness, just looked like Tom has done what we've seen so many times, turned up along that sideline, was ready to shoot it, from that left sideline. But in fairness to Tommy, he stuck in there and forced the ball over. Good turnover for Doon.
Sideline ball now for Doon. It's taken by Chris Thomas. A good ball from Thomas straight up the line again. It's Cian O'Donovan trying to win it back, but again, Dan Morrissey is there for a hand to Kieran Barry. Barry Again, straight down the line. They're trying to play down those wings. Ahane. It's broken here for Mark Donnellan. Donnellan now onto his right hand side. 45 metres out. He's looking for a bit of help. And Ahane now heading towards goal. Goal chance maybe here. It's inside to Tom Marcy. Marcy with the chance, and it's Marcy with a goal. Brilliantly worked move from Ahane. And Jerome, Ahane certainly mean business so far.
Yeah, that's an absolute tonic for him. You know, we've spoken about maybe 3 chances that Doon have had for goal up at the other side, and they've managed to keep it out. Very, very well worked. And if you just see the way Tom Morrissey peeled away into the space there, they found the right man and a great finish.
That was great build-up play by Dan Minahan in the lead of that goal. And that's a great ball down inside by Mark O'Halloran to Tom Marcy. Marcy looking for the point. I think Darragh O'Donovan just got a little hook in to derail that shot from Tom Morrissey, but it's a glorious start for Ahane. 1-4 to 2 points the lead after 8.5 minutes here at the LIT Gaelic Grounds in the Sponsecures Hospital. Limerick Senior Hurling Championship must-win game for Ahane. As Pádraig Ryan, again the man for the short puck out from Owen McNamara. Ryan delivers long, looking for full forward Dean Coleman. Coleman, those beaten to this one. Ahane really picking up the pieces here. It's a flick from Dan Marcy with the hand to Niall Moran. Moran has options on his left. That option is Andrew Shanahan. In fact, it's not. It's Colm Carroll. It's Colm Carroll with the long distance shot. Didn't go to plan, to the left and wide. But Jerome, this is all positive stuff for Ahane thus far.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, I was just starting to think that Doon were trying to very much follow the model of Patrick Swell the previous week against Ahane and get those early goals to put them to bed. But Ahane stuck in there, and now they're reaping the benefits and starting to hurl very, very well.
Yeah, that flick now from full forward Evan Renwright towards Dan Minahan. And Moran trying to keep that one in play, just slid out. In fact, it was Mark Donnellan trying to keep that one in play. Chris Thomas trying a quick one for Doon, didn't go to plan, and he was bailed out by referee Jason O'Mahony. But there's a Doon man down injured, and I think it's Adam English, is it, Jerome?
Yeah, Adam English just took a bit of a knock trying to win possession the last time. Looks like he's going to shake it off, but he's been shadowed everywhere he goes by Kieran Barry, and that's a right good battle.
It is Adam English with a couple of catches and a beautiful score that opened the proceedings here at the LIT Gaelic Grounds. Richie English taking his time over this sideline ball. And English on the 45 is not one of his best, blocked by Cian O'Donovan, but it's a battle for possession now that Ahane through Ronan Fox have won initially. It's going to bounce around again. It's picked up well by Cian O'Donovan. O'Donovan now gets the hand pass away to Pat Ryan. Big hit from Andrew Shannon, and it's a foul, says referee. In fact, it wasn't Andrew Shannon, it was Pádraig Harnett who's detailed to mark Pat Ryan. And 50-50 call, maybe Jerome went Doon's way.
You know, probably a hard enough call. You know, it was they were both battling for possession, but I think we can see already that last week's game is standing to Ahane. They look very much a different outfit. There's more intensity, there's more pace to them, and they were probably just shell-shocked early last week by the barrage of Patrick Swell scores. Adam
English with this free. He struck it very well, but it's a good bit to the right and wide. So Adam English with a wide for Doon on his own 65 with that one, and tailed fairly badly to the right as Adam O'Brien pings this one towards Niall Moran. Moran's trying to block it down for himself. Eddie Stokes is there for Doon. Still a battle for possession there, but Moran showing his strength and now keeping that in play. Tries to flick it up to himself, but Doon have numbers there and they've come away with possession. Inside it comes now to Patrick Cummins. Cummins looking for the run there of Josh Ryan, who's in and around the edge of the square at the moment. That's gone out over the sideline over there, marked by Jeff Enright. So Ahane doing enough, Jerome, in the opening quarter here to suggest they're in this game, very much so. Yeah,
and it's probably just not happening for Doon at the moment, but just when we look out here, I can see that Dan Morrissey is sitting very, very deep, almost as a sweeper role. He is breaking forward a little bit, but it's very noticeable that he is sitting back there, giving that half back line just that little extra bit of protection.
Short, just Colm Carroll, he's missed it though. Maybe a chance here for Doon, a turnover in a scoring area, but Ahane have come away with it. It's Dan Morrissey with the possession. Morrissey maybe the right option to go long towards Evan Enright, but Richie English has done beautifully to win this. He's on the Ahane 45. It's English with the strike, but it looked good for a moment or two, Jerome, but tailed off in the end, much like Adam English's free just before.
Yeah, Richie read that so well, you know, to control it and bring it down, but shooting just left him down.
Short puck out to Dan Morrissey. It's worked backwards now, and this time Evan O'Leary goes long down towards Tom Morrissey. Every time Morrissey goes near the ball, he's two on him. It's a beautiful catch and a beautiful score from Tom Morrissey, and that's exactly what Ahane have tried to do all game, Jerome. And if the delivery is good enough, Tom Morrissey, it doesn't matter if there's 2 or 3 on him, he's capable of doing that all day. long.
He had Tommy Hayes, behind him. Two fine hurlers in their own right, and yet he made it look so easy.
Adam English has made that look very easy as well. It's English on their own. Great block from Dan Marcy. Good break still to Pat Ryan. Good work there though from Padraig Harnett, the handful back. And again, Ahane are coming away with possession. It's their centre back Kieran Barry into midfield, and it's Ronan Fox. Fox lost to Hurley. Didn't matter too much as Richie English misses that hand pass. Chance now for Evan Enright from the sideline. Enright was nearly gone out over the sideline. Doon manager Tony Ward certainly thought he was. Didn't matter in the end as the ball went wide, and it's a quick puck out just that bit long from Owen McNamara for Josh Ryan. Ryan gets a chance to stretch those rangy legs, and Ryan is on the run here. Colm Carroll can't get near him. It's Josh Ryan with the strike, and Josh Ryan has hit that one over the bar. Jerome, brilliant score from Josh Ryan. And from Doon's point of view, they'll want to see more of that.
Yeah, they will, and that's their first score in 9 minutes. We've had a 1-2 unanswered for Ahane. Again, a good puck out. They're not delaying on the puck outs. They're playing against the breeze, but they're still moving that ball quickly.
5 to 3 points in favour of Ahane as Richie English gets to this one first. English going down the line has done well to stay in play. Initially, he's been fouled as well. Lost possession to Richie English, but Jason O'Mahony was playing advantage. And Richie English will leave this one to Darragh O'Donovan. We've already seen Darragh O'Donovan from much further out, and from a similar angle as well, is capable of putting these over the bar. So 5-point lead for Ahane. We've played 14 minutes here at the LIT Gaelic grounds, and Ahane making use of that breeze, playing very well as O'Donovan, looking for his second score of the afternoon. It's O'Donovan with the strike. It's high, isn't too happy with that one, too high from his point of view. And well to the right and wide, Jerome. He'll be very disappointed with that.
Yeah, almost from the same position he had struck the one earlier, so he should have known the route to goal.
Dan Marcy now with possession for Ahane. Dan just trying to find a man. He's found one to Niall Moran. You could hear Moran calling for that. Well, we could anyway here up in the commentary area. It's Moran into Shanahan. Andrew Shanahan back to Niall Moran. Moran's hooked as he hits that one. Eddie Stokes getting that hook in. That's over towards Mark Donald inside. Tom Marcy has it in the paw again. Marcy with a strike from an outrageous angle from Tom Marcy, and just proved to be that much more difficult. But Jerome Ahane are going to shoot on side. Anytime they get inside the 45, they're trying to make use of this wind.
Yeah, they've got that wind to their backs, and they are getting the possession to their two shooters. Niall Moran and Tom Marcy have to be the two on the end of their moves.
Adam English is given an exhibition of taking puck outs into his hand from long distance. It's 4, he's 1 now as Pat Ryan takes control. This could be dangerous. Just loses possession for a moment. Isn't fouled. He is fouled, says Jason O'Mahony. Just waiting for that one to develop, but Jerome, just for a millisecond, Pat Ryan was away, and that usually spells danger for any team he faces.
Yeah, poor Padraig Harnett, he had to run around after Aaron Gillan last week, and he comes back into the LIT Gaelic grounds this week, and it's Pat Ryan that he's facing into. And when the ball goes in front of a Pat Ryan or an Aaron Gillan like that, it's so hard for the defender, and Pat had slipped him there and looked like it was a clear route to goal. So from a hand point of view, I suppose a free, not the worst thing in the world.
It's going to be Adam English who's given a fair old exhibition of taking catches from puck out so far, and English has popped that one over the bar. Second point for him, and first from place balls. That's the water break here, and it's been a very encouraging opening 16 minutes here for Ahane. They lead Doon 1-5 to 4 points, and Jerome, who would have been talking or looking at Eamon Meskill, John Meskill, and the rest of the Ahane backroom team, they couldn't have asked for much more from their charges thus far.
No, they couldn't, and I think they will be happy. They have the aid of that breeze. They would have been very, very disappointed last week with their defeat to Patrick Swell, so they would have just looked to build that little bit of confidence. They've got it. They've won the opening quarter, 1-5 to 4 points. Probably good value for it. Bit shaky in the opening couple of minutes. Maybe Doon could have got through for a goal chance or two, or did have a goal chance or two. But after that, I think Ahane have settled very well. I think they've set themselves up well. They've got Kieran Barry doing his best to marshal Adam English. Dan Morrissey, as I said, I think he's sitting deep there, and we've seen one or two balls just go straight into his possession. That's what they will want. Then at the other side of the field, if they can keep working the possession to Tom Morrissey and Niall Moran, they will score, and especially with this breeze, they'll probably alter the tactics in the second half. But right now, 4 points to the good. They'll probably look to or need to bring that to 7 or 8 points by half time, given what we think is the strength of this breeze.
From Doon's point of view, Ahane have pretty much dominated every facet, bar those opening kind of half chances for goals. They just need to up the levels of intensity, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and in one way, Doon will be delighted because there's been serious questions asked of them, and that's what they will want before, potentially going into the knockout stages. But they have a bit of work to do to get a footing back into this, because certainly for the last 10 minutes, it's been Ahane that have set the tempo, the Ahane that are doing the majority of the hurling, and be interesting to see if there are any little changes, tactically or positionally for Doon after this water break.
Yeah, just getting ready to get us back underway here with a puck out from Adam O'Brien following that free from Adam English. As we said, Ahane leading 1-5 to 4 points here. Really upping their performance levels from that defeat to Patrickswell last weekend in their opening game. As Adam O'Brien looking at his options down the field, there's plenty of movement in that half forward line. Niall Moran has come short, has had Evan Enright. It's gone straight down the middle though towards Dan Minahan. It's going to break then in midfield to Dan Morrissey. As Drew McConnell mentioned, it's just staying that little bit deep. Niall Moran quick as a flash off the right hand side. Same result as we'd expect, Jerome. We've seen it already today. We've seen it for years. Niall Moran doesn't miss those.
No, and great from Dan Morrissey, looked up, and as I said already, these are the two guys you want in possession when they're shooting. He looked inside, no movement from Tom, so popped it off to Niall Moran. Great score from maybe 60 metres out.
Niall Moran really showing his value to the Ahane side in the opening half here as Doon worked this one in. I think it was in towards Pat Ryan. It's good work back there though, again from Padraig Harnett. And Harnett has options in front. There's a wide open out in midfield is Mark O'Halloran. O'Halloran's only going to look one way, and that's in towards the full forward line, but Richie English read that one early in his options here. Jack Ryan in plenty of time and space here for Doon. It's Jack Ryan with the strike, and it's hit it poorly as Jack Ryan. That's going well to the right and wide, and just Ahane really getting under Doon's skin here, Jerome.
Yeah, and that's 6 wides now for Doon, and a lot of them just tailing off out to the right there, off to the Cratlow Hills. I'm not sure if the wind is just pulling them across that way, but I think that's the majority of their wides just pulling across the field.
Cormac Ryan in towards Pat Ryan now, and Harnett is there doing very well here to make sure Pat Ryan doesn't get that into his hand, helped out by Dan Morrissey. Morrissey, as we see so often, picks up the pieces. The delivery comes in to the full forward line. Again, Tom Morrissey is on the run, and Tommy Hayes hasn't tripped him. It looked maybe that the hurley came between the legs there, but no, says referee Jason O'Mahony, and Darragh O'Donovan is able. They cleared his lines towards Josh Ryan. Ryan didn't catch it at first, but he's got it into the hand. No, he hasn't. It's Eddie Stokes that has it instead for Doon. Chance for Stokes. He's going to go for it. By the looks of things here, Eddie Stokes going. Stokes with the shot, but a brilliant cover block from Evan O'Leary. And again, a point chance for Doon. They took the harder option going for goal. Hasn't worked out as Ronan Fox again delivers long towards Tom Morrissey. It's a blatant tactic from Ahane. This time it doesn't work out. Wide ball, says the umpire at the city end. Tom Morrissey disputes it. But Jerome, again, Doon going for goal. Maybe have better options by going for points at this stage.
Yeah, I could have taken the point, and I think it was Evan O'Leary that came across. Probably felt that one. I'd say he'll have the bruise to show for it, but certainly turned away what was a real goal chance for Doon.
And the ball comes in here towards that dangerous full forward line again. It's Adam English on Evan O'Leary now, but O'Leary has found Dan Morrissey. Again, as Jerome McConnell mentioned, sitting very deep as this one goes long into the brother Tom, and Tom Morrissey can't keep that one in play. And Tom Morrissey isn't happy with something there. But either way, Ahane will be generally fairly happy. 1-6 to 4 points to lead. Long puck out from Owen McNamara. It's down towards Pat Ryan. Dan Morrissey was up, but again, Padraig Harnett is there, and Harnett gets it out to Kieran Barry. Steps inside, beats the challenge of Dean Coleman. Kieran Barry delivers in towards Tom Morrissey. Darragh O'Donovan is there. Morrissey has done enough to divert it away from Darragh O'Donovan. It's Tom Morrissey with it, gives it to Niall Moran. Moran wasn't looking, wasn't expecting the pass. Morrissey had more time, I think, than he realised, and Doon get the possession away from Patrick Cummins into Dean Coleman, who's very far out from his full forward berth. Looks now that Adam English is operating in and around the edge of the square. Time for Niall Moran is the call. Moran has options out to his left. He's going to go for it himself. Niall Moran with the strike. Niall Moran with the point. It's becoming a theme here, Jerome. That's point number 4 for Niall Moran in this half.
Yeah, and again, that one's after coming from the full back line inside there. Not sure, was it Jeff Enright maybe that burst out and won that one. They've got on top inside there, and as a unit, the Doon attack just isn't functioning for me for the last couple of minutes. They've now switched Adam English into to full forward and brought out Dean Ryan. They're just trying to build a bit of momentum.
It's Coleman now into Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan on the run. The hook did come in. It's good work again back there from Mark O'Halloran. The hook came in. The wide is the result, and Ahane will only grow from confidence from here, Jerome. It's great work.
Yeah, it's 14 wides now for the game, evenly shared between the two, so the rate are just a little bit off.
And a sideline ball now for Ahane on that far side. They lead by 6 here at the LIT Gaelic Grounds. We played 20 and a half minutes. And it's Ahane that have been very impressive in this opening half. It's gone short now to Colm Carroll. Carroll on the 65 decides to go off with a Colm Carroll with a bit of space now. Decides to flick it inside instead. There's a chance for Mark Donnelly. Comes back onto his right hand side. And Mark Donnelly with an excellently worked score again. Jerome, they're not going to change their tactics in this half anyway. It's very, very well worked again from Ahane.
Yeah, and the confidence is growing now as well. You know, I mean, we've started to see others chip in with the scoring. That's what they want. You can see Eamon Meskin and John Meskin down here. They're happy right now. Everything going to plan. 1-8 to 4 points up, 21 minutes. They really are setting all the tempo. Doon just looked that little bit shell-shocked at the moment.
Yeah, a little bit lethargic. Doon as Chris Thomas delivers this one in. Dan Morrissey is there again for Ahane. The magnet, as he's been in this half, delivers long towards Tom. Tommy Hayes is coming out there this time. Hayes has done very well to divert the ball away from Tom Morrissey as Chris Thomas picks up possession for Doon. Gives it to Josh Ryan. It's a short hand pass. Ryan coming back on his left, goes into the middle, finds Eddie Stokes. Stokes doesn't get it at the first attempt, does it the second. In towards Jack Ryan again. Tight marking from Evan O'Leary, and Jack Ryan may get away with possession here. Ryan out to Adam English. English now coming back inside. He has time, does Adam English. Usually when Adam English has time, it results in a score, but on this occasion it's gone to the right and wide, and another wide for Doon. And he doesn't look it down in front of us, Jerome. Tony Ward doesn't look worried. Maybe starting to get there though.
Yeah, I think so. You know, we mentioned it before we started about the inconsistency of Doon, maybe of the last couple of years. I'm sure that'll be reminded to them at half time. They had a big win in round one. You know, maybe they just forgot that they need to back it up.
Eddie Stokes with the mistake. Ronan Fox is on it to punish it, and that's another point for Ronan Fox. A second of the game for him. So Eddie Stokes with a needless flick inside, punished again, and 1-9 now to 4 in favour of this Ahane side. And Jerome, anyone that's watching this game will be surprised by how this is going.
Yeah, they will, and you know, we have to say that there is that breeze, but out on the field, you know, regardless of the conditions, Ahane are the ones that have tactically got it right and are setting the momentum for the last almost 20 minutes now at this stage after a bit of a shaky start.
Dan Morrissey again picking up that loose ball. He's really doing brilliantly here as Niall Moran tries a flick. It wasn't Don Moran though, looking to win possession back, and he's holding the ball at least there. May end up in a throw in there. He's giving it free as Jason O'Mahony. Niall Moran trying to use all his experience there to say no, I wasn't lying on any ball, ref, but Jason O'Mahony's around a long enough time to realise what Niall Moran was at there.
Yeah, and he probably had easier options as well to take, you know, but again from a Doon point of view, and I'm sure management are trying to get it into them, there's no point in hitting the ball straight down the middle, as if they are. Dan Morrissey's just going to sit there, no one marking him. You either need to push someone onto Dan Morrissey or get the message out there that they need to go up the wings. I mean, they have the firepower up the wings, but if they're going to keep putting it up the middle, Dan Morrissey's going to mop that up all day.
Indeed he is, as this free from Adam English goes over the bar. He's got the radar back, has the Doon number 12. That's the second free of the game for English, as this puck out comes very quickly from Adam O'Brien. Down again towards Niall Moran, just flicks it down. It's going to break in midfield to Mark O'Halloran. O'Halloran has more time than Doon would want. He's gone low in towards Mark Donnellan. Donnellan has Ronan Fox with him. Donnellan now under pressure from Pádraig Ryan back there, but he still has it as Donnellan. The hand pass doesn't go to his intended target. Moran though is there for Ahane, flicks it away from Eddie Stokes. Josh Ryan has come in here to win possession for Doon. It's a late challenge on him by Evan O'Leary, a very needless one from Evan O'Leary, Jerome, and he's going to be in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, he's going to get a yellow card probably, to be honest. Not sure it merits more than the yellow. I think Josh was trying to skip by him as well, and probably came in contact with Evan more than a clear strike out from Evan. I'm not sure.
I think it was only a flick, if anything.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Josh got a bit of a bang on the arm, but he should be okay. Free in to Doon, a chance for them to ease into that lead a little bit.
Maybe a bit of a smart one from Evan O'Leary as well. The ball was heading down towards Pat Ryan, and even from that distance on the 21, if Ryan gets possession there, he's going to turn for goal more often than not.
Yeah, I think Adam English was hoping that the free was going to be from where the ball had landed, but it's back out here to just shy of the 65.
Yeah, and a very difficult angle with this wind as well. We've seen Darragh O'Donovan put one over from there. We've also seen him miss one from there in the same with Adam English. He's missed one from a similar enough position already. He'll have to start it left to right from what we've seen of their shots thus far in this game. Much better strike from Adam English. The last one was a sider from that area, Jerome. That's a fine score from a free.
Yeah, it's a good score for Doon. That's them up to 6 points, but it's four frees out of that tally of 6 as well, and they'll be looking to try and get some forward momentum.
Evan Enright has flicked that one onto Dan Minahan. Minahan on the run. He's looking for options here. Dan gets a bit of room, blocked down by Darragh O'Donovan. It's Pádraig Ryan in to win it for Doon. It's done enough to make sure it got to Darragh O'Donovan at least. O'Donovan has Eddie Stokes. Stokes has missed that one. Mark O'Halloran is onto it quickly, but good work from Eddie Stokes. Didn't give up on it. It's now to Adam English. English switches play in towards Jack Ryan at full forward. Ryan's been very tightly marked there by Jeff Enright, and it's worked out as Evan O'Leary gets possession. O'Leary was blocked. Attempted clearance was blocked down. He's got it back to Enright though, and it's inside to the ever available Dan Morrissey, and Ahane working it very easily out of defence again in the end as Ronan Fox delivers long. It's flicked inside now by Mark Donlan. There's a bit of space for Donlan to run into, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He tried to flick it across to Tom Morrissey, but Pádraig Ryan read it brilliantly for Doon, and Ryan gets his clearance straight down again towards Jack Ryan. He's tightly marked. It's broken. Very good work from Jeff Enright again. Dan Morrissey knew exactly what was at there for Ahane, and Evan O'Leary finishes the clearance. It's down towards Tom Morrissey. Chris Thomas will be favourite to get to that one, but Morrissey somehow comes out with that, doesn't keep it in play though, and it's going to be a sideline ball for Ahane, or for Doon I should say.
I suppose the flip side of having Don Morrissey back here as the spare man or an extra man for Ahane is that it's allowing extra bodies in the Doon defence as well, and I suppose they've positioned that extra body in, no surprise, in front of Tom Morrissey, so he really has to battle with two of them each time it's going in there. It's more than holding his own, but it is curtailing his chances. I should say Dean Coleman now winning possession for Doon, but again it's a turnover from Ahane. It's back to Dan Morrissey again. Dan Morrissey's going along with this one. It'll be some score from Dan Morrissey from midway between the 65 and 45, but it's gone to the right and wide, and I think we're going to have a sub here. Jason O'Mahony is saying something has to happen here. It's Owen McNamara that's down inside in the Doon goal that needs some attention here, Jerome, and they have Darragh Ryan on the bench, of course, the Limerick minor, an under 20 goal in the last couple of years. I should say minor goalie a couple of years ago, and sub for the 20s this year, but a little bit of concern here for Owen McNamara. Yeah, not quite sure from this distance even to speculate. I'm not quite sure if he wears eye contact lenses, or could that be the issue. Don't think it was anything that happened in contact, unless it was from earlier in the game, but just a bit of a stoppage, and probably breaks a bit of the Ahane momentum as well, because they've just come off the back of a good couple of points. Adam English freeze settles Doon that little bit, but it's certainly Ahane's momentum to be broken, and I think maybe Doon a minute or two to settle themselves wouldn't do him any harm.
Owen McNamara is fit and ready to continue. That starts his puck out down towards Adam English, was the intended target. It may find him in the end. Instead it's found Dean Coleman. Coleman's done well to come away with it, but again Kieran Barry is there, and everyone for Ahane, Jerome, at the moment playing very well as Barry flicks this away from Cian O'Donovan. He scored one early on to Kieran Barry. He's got options inside. Can he get the pass away? He can't, and Doon just about able to mop it up initially, but Cian O'Donovan with the mistake, and it's Dan Minahan out to Mark Donnelly. Donnelly into the centre. The chance comes for Kieran Barry, and eventually gets the shot away. Does Barry, and it's another score, and back to a 7-point lead for Ahane.
Yeah, great drive from the wing back as well to drive up there forwards, and lost possession, but such is the intensity and the work rate that Ahane are bringing to the game that they had the bodies in there to wing it back again.
English with the ball down towards Pat Ryan. He'll do well to keep this in. And that's what Pat Ryan has done. Now this could spell danger. He's beaten Pádraig Harnett easily. Won't be as easy to beat Dan Morrissey, and Morrissey, as we've seen throughout the last few years, in and around his own 14-metre line, he'll usually mop up things like that. Ryan thought he was in, Jerome. Dan had other ideas.
Yeah, having an absolute colossal game from him. And I watched last week against Patrick Swell, and I couldn't understand why he wasn't being directed to sit that little bit deeper. They're doing that today, and it's working a treat so far.
Absolutely is. Dan Morrissey has played midfield in the past for UL and Ahane, but in the last few years settled at full back immeasurably for John Kiley's side, and he's settling in his sitting role here as that attempted clearance or pass inside from English is once again intercepted by Dan Morrissey and delivers down towards Mark Donnellan. It's Donnellan against Chris Thomas. Wild pull from Chris Thomas. Not a free, says Jason O'Mahony. Ahane ain't happy with that one, but still have a chance of getting the ball, and it's Morrissey. He gets it into his hand. Tom Morrissey on the run. It's a flick it there is from Morrissey. Gone to the left and wide. A little bit of a battle ensuing there between Chris Thomas and Tom Morrissey. Morrissey is incredulous that the score hasn't been given in his favour. The wide has been given. He disagrees, Jerome. Hard to say from here, but he's certainly unhappy.
Yeah, we're at the wrong angle here in the Mackey stand, but certainly the linesman across the way would have had the perfect view.
Josh Ryan wins possession here. He goes high with the shot, does Ryan. And it's gone to the left and wide. So, coming up here, 36 seconds played of added time at the end of this first half. It's Ahane leading Doon 110 to 6 points. Very impressive stuff from Ahane, and Doon really need to get things better from their point of view in this second half. And that's the halftime whistle here, Jerome. Things for Ahane with the breeze. They may have won the toss and look to have gone with it, but things have gone certainly to plan for the Mescals and Ahane.
Yeah, we said at the first water break, they were 4 points clear. They'd need to go 7 to 8. They've got to a 7-point margin at half time. A really impressive half of hurling from Ahane. One of the better halves of 30 minutes we've seen from Ahane in the last number of years. So they'll be very, very happy with that. They've got to come out and repeat it. I think they got pretty much everything right in that opening half. The sides shared 18 wides evenly between them, so clearly there's room for improvement there. But just think tactically, Emma Mescal, John Mescal and everyone in Ahane, they got it spot on. They'll have to repeat it. Maybe will they look to bring maybe Tom Morrissey to the half forward line this time when they don't have the breeze, or just to free him up that little bit more. Be interesting to see what to do. Also from a Doon point of view, I think they need to change something. They certainly need to try and nullify the influence of Dan Morrissey, and just interested to see what they can do, or will they just trust that perhaps the elements can play a role for him.
Yeah, just from Doon's point of view as well, we're seeing things that we wouldn't expect. Balls that look simple from our angle. It's easy to say from our angle up here that they are simple balls, simple catches, and just short passes. They're not going to hand. Just things aren't working for Doon. And as you said, maybe a change is needed somewhere. That's it from us here from the first half from the LIT Gaelic Grounds, where it's Ahane leading Doon by 110 to 6 points. Join us for the second half shortly. Dean is on. What? Talk to Noel. Welcome back to the LIT Gaelic grounds for the second half of the Sponsor Cures Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship tie between Ahane and Doon. It's Ahane that hold the advantage by 110 to 6 points at the halftime break. Jerome, we asked what Doon may do in the second half to try and reverse this, and they've made one change. Certainly, we see Micheál Ryan on wearing number 17. Looks like Eddie Stokes is the man to depart.
Yeah, Eddie been on quite a bit of ball in that first half as well, so perhaps a bit of a surprise in that one. I'm just trying to look at the rest of their defence as well, but Micheál Ryan brings huge experience with, came on the last day, got on a good lot of ball as well, you know, good engine in him, well able to deliver ball as well, so you know, he certainly won't lessen the team in any regard.
And we've also seen the change that you expected anyway. Tom Morrissey is starting at the half forward line, and they've moved Dan Minahan and Mark Donnellan in around the edge of the square. Ronan Fox is heading down there as well as we get ready for the start of this second half. And it's Ahane leading as Jason O'Mahony throws this one in. And it's Tom Morrissey looking to win possession, but Micheál Ryan has picked up the loose ball, and it's Richie English now for Doon. English from midfield is going for this. It's a fine strike from Richie English. Does it have the accuracy? The umpire says no, and it's another wide for Doon. English again just not taking advantage of the space he had, and doesn't have the accuracy now as Adam O'Brien, for the first time this half, strikes it long. It's a very long puck out given the strength of the breeze towards Tom Morrissey and Niall Moore, and it's Doon that come away with it. And again, Micheál Ryan on a second possession just after coming on here. Evan O'Leary got the last touch on that to put it out for a Doon sideline ball. But Jerome, you mentioned it, the experience Micheál Ryan brings immediately into the action. Yeah,
that's what they'll need. They'll need to get on top in that middle third, because they probably had faded in that area of the field. They just weren't getting enough go forward ball in that half. And you know, again, it does look like that Dan will probably sit back into that pocket again, but they need to find a way around him.
Yes. Darragh O'Donovan well capable of putting this over the bar from the sideline ball, but again just in the accuracy evading Doon yet again. Another wide. I think, Jerome, that's 11 for them now, so something they really need to pick up on. As Colm Carroll takes possession from that puck out. Carroll into the middle to Dan Morrissey. Morrissey looking at his options. He's got Mark Donnellan on the move, and it's Donnellan now in possession for Ahane. Steps back onto his left hand side. It's Donnellan with the shot, but this one looks from our angle to be wide. The umpire confirms that. So first wide of the half for Ahane. And no scores as of yet in this second half. That is a minute and a half all as this puck out now from Owen McNamara. Jack Ryan trying to win it ahead of Evan O'Leary. O'Leary working feverishly to win that back, and he's helped Ronan Fox out no end as Fox a little flick inside to his midfielder Mark O'Halloran. So O'Halloran trying to get this shot away, and again enough pressure from Doon to see that bobble over the line and wide. And Jerome, fairly slack start to the second half by both teams.
Yeah, no real form to it yet, no momentum, 2 wides each. You know, they're going tit for tat with the wides. That's 11 wides each at this stage.
Puck out now from Owen McNamara. Pat Ryan trying to get onto it. Dan Morrissey is there, but Ryan has got the better of this one initially anyway, and Evan Enright making sure, or sorry, I should say Padraig Harnett making sure that one ends out over the end line. So another wide for Doon. Will go down as a wide anyway, and Adam O'Brien getting ready to take this puck out as a stray slitter is picked up by the umpire. Make sure the game doesn't restart before that is taken off the field. So Jason O'Mahony is given the whistle, blown his whistle to restart as this one heads towards Tom Morrissey. Morrissey can't catch it, but his captain Evan Enright is out to give him a hand, and Enright now trying to get the hand pass away. He's brilliantly dispossessed by Adam English, and it's English with the long range effort, and that one has dropped down to the right and wide again in Jerome. It's again another wide for Doon.
Yeah, and you know, they've got 7-point lead to eat into here, and if the radar is off, that's 4 wides already from we've just literally did the 3 minutes played here.
And now on the attack, trying to break through again. It's Donnellan, kicks this one away. Richie English trying to win it for Doon. He got it into the hand, maybe throw it out. Referee says no, he's playing advantage either way as Darragh O'Donovan makes his way down the field. He flicks it. Eddie Stokes is actually still on. Jerome will confirm that substitution as soon as we have it here. It may have been Mark Coleman, or Dean Coleman. I think that's actually the man who's been replaced. And over this ball comes here. Should be okay for Tommy Hayes back there for Doon. He goes low with the clearance, finds Richie English, and it's now Micheál Ryan in possession to Darragh O'Donovan. O'Donovan has the advantage yet again, but he's still going with possession to Micheál Ryan. Ryan looking to deliver this one in towards Pat Ryan. It's Pat Ryan. Too long again it comes in. And Jerome, they've got to do better with that kind of delivery. They've had Pat Ryan in and around the edge of the square all game, and he's yet to receive maybe 2 good balls.
Yeah, it's the delivery, but they're under such pressure out here. In fairness to Ahane, they're working so hard. They're just not making it easy for them to get the good deliveries in.
Puck out comes again and it's going to actually dink. It's Keane O'Donovan is still there as well, so we'll check that one as soon as we can here.
It's Cormac Ryan that has actually made way for Micheál.
Yeah, it's Cormac Ryan as Adam English goes with that one, and Adam English has got the point. There's a bit of confusion there for a moment, but English has definitely scored it. So that's a 5th point for Adam English. The first point of this second half goes to Doon. So maybe that bit of momentum that they needed, Jerome, but a fine score again from English.
Yeah, and they seem to have set up with Adam English and Pat Ryan inside in a 2-man full forward line. So plenty scoring power in there.
It's Keane O'Donovan now on the run, and Doon maybe getting a bit of momentum going as Keane O'Donovan strikes this one. Looks good from here, and the umpires agree with us in the commentary box. That's Keane O'Donovan's first point of the game, and Jerome, it was a great effort from O'Donovan.
Great effort from him, and that's 7 shots at goal already, and we've just played 5 minutes on the stopwatch right now. So they are starting to win that middle field area. They're getting the ball going forward. So that's exactly what management would have wanted at half time.
Andrew Shanahan now taking that sharp puck out of Shanahan on the run. A fine rugby player as well in his days. Darragh O'Donovan didn't get really hold of that one. Trying to win it back now is O'Donovan, and Doon should come away with it with Chris Thomas under severe pressure from Dan Minahan. And Minahan has picked up the loose ball. It's Minahan with the shot, and Dan Minahan has put Ahane, well, he's got a score for Ahane as they make 2 substitutions here. But it's Dan Minahan with that point, and we're going to have Paul O'Halloran and I was checking who the other sub on.
It's Paul O'Halloran and Aaron Hackett coming on, and it's Mark O'Halloran and it looks like Evan Enright that's making way.
Yeah, there's the 2 substitutions for Ahane. Quick move by Eamon Mescal and his management team to maybe, having seen Doon take a bit of control of this game as Evan O'Leary clears this one. It looks to be out of play, and Dan Minahan unable to keep it in. So sideline ball for Doon. And Jerome, just saying there, Eamon Mescal may have seen something very quickly. Doon arresting the slide a little bit, and he's acted very quickly. Yeah,
and two changes they made the last day as well. We know that Paul O'Halloran will bring a lot of energy to it, and that's probably just what they need at the moment.
Good work from Jeff Enright there to make sure Adam English didn't win possession. Now it's to Dan Morrissey, who's been the launch pad of pretty much every Ahane attack in this game, but they're getting under trouble here. Keane O'Donovan has nicked that one. It comes to Dean Coleman. Shot from Dean Coleman. Perfect angle for us here in the commentary box. Quick as a flash, and Dean Coleman has got another score for Doon.
And bit by bit, they're just eating into that Ahane lead, and that's what management would have said to them at half time. Just keep taking your scores bit by bit. Plenty time there, and we're now 7 minutes into the second half. It's time to start thinking what exactly we need from this game. Ahane need to win by 8 points. They went close to that at half time, but I mean they would need to tag on the scores if they're going to put themselves into a real position to challenge for a place in the knockout stages. And they will need to keep those scores ticking over, and so far just in the 7 minutes they haven't managed to get the ball back into the hands of the likes of Tom Morrissey and Niall Moran. And just as we look down here again now, I see that Tom Morrissey is again back in at full forward, but they need to get back on top in the middle third if they're to supply him with the ball he needs.
Huge puck out from Adam O'Brien, landing on the 45, but again Doon getting more possession. Micheál Ryan takes it from Chris Thomas, and he's been fouled, so further evidence of Doon just maybe getting to grips with this Ahane attack in the early stages of this second half. And it's going to be Adam English coming all the way out from the full forward line to take this. He scored 4 frees in this game so far. Chance for a 5th free and a 6-point overall for Adam English, of course, captain of Limerick's minor side that won Munster Championship glory in 2020. Of course, part of the Limerick under-20 side that lost out to Cork in the Munster final this season as well. And English from his own 65. He's just inside it, but by the time he strikes it, he'll be on the 65 or closer. So English hasn't got hold of that at all, he thinks. Just a groan left out from him. That's gone to the left and wide as well. You could hear it, Jerome, that from the moment he hit it, he wasn't happy.
No, I didn't like that one, and the wides are mounting up for him, but at the same time they have now got a foothold in the game, which they didn't really for any prolonged period in the opening half.
Ahane on the attack now, and it's Minahan again on the run, gets the pass away. Chance immediately for Aaron Hackett. Hackett has the shot, and Ahane need a score here. Haven't got it though, it's gone to the right and wide and wasteful from Ahane as Owen McNamara takes this one quickly to Pádraig Ryan. It's Pádraig Ryan looking at options far down the field. He's gone long in towards Josh Ryan. Dan Marcy is with him. Usually a sign that the player looking for the ball isn't going to win it. And Josh Ryan has not got the last touch on that. It's going to be a 65 for Doon. Dan Marcy isn't complaining, Jerome, so maybe.
I think it may very well have come off the helmet of, might have been Jeff Inwell, I think, just as the ball dropped in there. And, another chance for it's going to be Adam English, isn't it? Step over this one.
English now from the Ahane 65. The free took a moment ago, was from his own 65. Has the chance now to get another score for Doon. We'll put 4 points between them. English has struck that one, and this time he's found the accuracy despite what Ahane are saying the sideline. The flag goes up, and it's a 65 for Adam English. Wide ball, say Ahane, but Roma looked okay from our angle here.
Yeah, I think it did, and I think the linesman is, making that known to the Ahane bench that, he was in a good position to spot it as well.
Darragh O'Donovan with the little flick away here towards Eddie Stokes, flicks it inside to Pat Ryan, but the pass again doesn't go to plan, but it's going to fall for Pat Ryan anyway, and Ryan now with a chance for Doon. He's coming back towards his own 65, little slip in the Ahane defence, and Pat Ryan with his first score of the game takes full advantage, and all of a sudden goal. Jerome, there's only a goal between them.
Yeah, and that's just the confidence that Pat Ryan needed as well. They'll love to start seeing one or two of those stick from play because they have been relying very heavily on the frees of Adam English.
Puck out to Kieran Barry here for Ahane. It's well taken, and it gives to Colm Carroll. Colm Carroll now up the line towards Mark Donnellan. Donnellan under pressure from Pádraig Ryan back there. Tom Marcy comes out to help Donnellan. A battle for possession on the ground here. Neither side able to come out with it at the moment. In the end, it's Ahane that looked likely to win it. Hackett had it, but Doon making sure the pressure stays on here. Neither side able to get it, but in the end, it's Patrick Cummins that comes away with it for Doon. And Cummins doing very well. He's been fouled by the substitute, Paul O'Halloran. Jerome, Ahane really getting on top, Doon getting on top in that full back line, full forward line battle.
Yeah, and they seem to have given maybe Pat Ryan a bit of a roving role now as well. I see that he's come away from that full forward line. They've put in big Josh Ryan in there, so if they can get the high ball down on top of him as well, and it's Jack Ryan that's in there. So they've changed from what they had at the initial minutes, and they've now given Pat Ryan and Adam English a bit more licence. And with that breeze, it would probably suit the two of those more if they are out in that half forward line.
Indeed as well. Dan Marcy no longer the loose man inside for Ahane. He's been detailed to pick up Pat Ryan as best as he can. Anyways, this one goes down towards Josh Ryan. It's going to go wide again, and just that little bit, even though they're coming back into the game, Doon are just not at the races fully yet.
No, with 41 minutes played, it's 16 wides and 11 points. So in one side, you'll say, you're creating nearly 30 scoring chances in just 40 minutes, but they need to capitalise on more of those.
Good work again from Micheál Ryan as he tries to find Jack Ryan down that line. Too much on it though. Again, tight marking from Evan O'Leary. He's been very impressive for Ahane throughout. Has a yellow card to his name, Jerome, but has fine a cornerback displays you may have seen all season.
Yeah, won a good few balls in that first half. Stopped a goal chance as well in that opening period.
Colm Carroll now in possession for Ahane, goes short with it, maybe picked up a knock there as Tom Morrissey now takes possession, takes on Chris Thomas. Morrissey likes to have a go from these kind of angles. He's going to keep going with this, maybe similar to that goal in the All-Ireland final in 18. Still going as Tom Morrissey, needs a bit of help there, has the advantage of a free though. And Jerome, first free for Ahane in the game inside the 45-metre line.
Yeah, and maybe says something about the intensity of what Doon brought in the opening half as well, and Tom Morrissey used all his experience there, drew in all the players and, won his free, and they just needed a score because we've had 5 of the last 6 going Doon's way, so Ahane just need one to settle themselves down.
Indeed they do. Yet to score in this half, 1 point in this half, Ahane from Dan Minahan. It's Tom Morrissey with the first free of the game for him. And he's popped that one over the bar with minimum fuss. So Tom Morrissey has got 1-2 to his name now. A goal, a point from play, and that free that puts Ahane's lead back to 4 points as Owen McNamara plays this one down the line, looking for Pat Ryan, and Ryan unable to keep it in play. Last touch came off him as well. So again, Dan Morrissey is the loose man as best as Ahane can manage it, and he takes this short sideline ball as well and plays it up in towards Niall Moran, and Moran has fouled Tommy Hayes on that occasion. A free for Doon, and they need Niall Moran back in this game quickly, Ahane.
Yeah, he has drifted out of it in the second half, but again, the quality of ball going in there probably isn't as good as it was in the opening period.
Darragh O'Donovan takes this one quickly towards Josh Ryan, breaks well though. Again, Jeff Enright with fine defensive play to Dan Morrissey, and the pass now coming in. Low one towards the aforementioned Niall Moran, and Moran now with an outrageous effort from the left wing here on the run. It's like so often, Doon's shots in the first half, tails to the right and wide. As Jason Ahane lets this one go quickly again, it's Darragh O'Donovan taking the loose ball, goes long all the way down towards Josh Ryan. Josh, kind of ball he likes, but again Dan Morrissey is there to pick up the pieces. Outstanding work again as he finds Andrew Shanahan. Shanahan now looking down the same line. He's got runners going. Ronan Fox is one of them, Dan Minahan is the other, and Minahan on the run from Chris Thomas. Thomas gets the hook in though, and Minahan having to force to get the ball back up into his hand. He's got Ronan Fox with him. Fox with the strike, and Ronan Fox has put that one to the right and wide again. And Jerome, they're the kind of points that Ahane were taking in the first half.
Yeah, they were, yeah, and they'll be happy that they're getting back those chances again, and they've started to go on forward foot, but not getting the return.
Adam English has picked up this one. Adam English with the strike. Off the post it goes. Stays in play though. It's a fine strike from English. And it's Padraig Ahane now dispossessed by Josh Ryan. Maybe a sniff of a goal chance here for Doon. Josh Ryan has it striked and it's into the back of the net. Adam O'Brien got a hurry to it, but there's a point between the sides now. Josh Ryan got the dispossession away from the fullback Padraig Ahane. He went in along the end line, Jerome. It was a fearsome shot, but Adam O'Brien has to be disappointed he wasn't able to keep that one out at the near post.
Yeah, great score for Josh. And you know, any young lad watching in, you're always told to chase that ball until it goes dead. Went off the upright. He raced out along the end line. Did well. As you said, Adam would probably be disappointed to be beaten at his near post like that, but all credit to Josh Ryan. Created that all for himself.
Chance for Niall Moran. He decides to go short with it. Tom Morrissey heading towards it. Tom Morrissey and a half forward. Tom Morrissey with an absolutely stunning score, Jerome, and just what Ahane needed after the concession of that goal.
Yeah, he's really trademarked that shot over the shoulder. You know, we've seen him doing it so many times, and you know what's crucial is he stepped up when Ahane needed it. You know, you didn't want Doon to get the next score. If you're a Ahane person who pops only Tom Morrissey and gets you that score, ensures that, you know, instead of maybe having the chance to go in level even at the water break, puts you back up 2 again and keeps you that little bit in front.
Yeah, vital score for Ahane. It stayed at lead 113 to 111 with just about to have 46 minutes played here at the LIT Gaelic Grounds in the Sponsecures Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship clash. Ahane just getting that score after the concession of that goal, and Jerome, that goal could prove so crucial for Doon.
Yeah, I mean, they must be full of confidence now going in at the water break. You know, management will be telling them, you keep doing this will get you over the line. They were 7 down at half time, 2 down now. You know, they'll be delighted with that. They're after eating into that. Plus, they're after finding a foothold in the game. You know, I mean, for the majority of that opening half, Ahane had set the tempo. Doon have probably done it now for the most of that half, and you know, a boost of a goal just before you go in to regroup inside. You know, they'll be absolutely buoyant down there now. They'll be just mad to just get back onto the field again in one way, you know, to ensure that the water break doesn't maybe break that momentum that they had built up.
From their management point of view, it's just keep pushing on. We have a strong breeze. A breeze doesn't win you a game, but from Ahane's point of view, Eamon Meskell and John Meskell will be just saying to their lads, look, 2 points up, we've a quarter left. It's up to you now, lads. Yeah,
and that's exactly it, you know. But there is a little bit of a rearguard action with them, to be fair, you know, because Doon are just starting to build that momentum. For so long they've relied on probably the frees of Adam English, but we've seen, you know, Josh Ryan popping up with the goal. Pat Ryan had one from play, Dean Coleman had one from play, Cian O'Donovan. You know, they're not relying on the place balls anymore. They're starting to find that little bit of gap. I had wondered, you know, about the forward unit finding a bit of cohesion in the first half. They seem to have got that a little bit more in this half. Absolutely no doubt about it. They're still up to 16 wides. But I mean, they're creating those chances, and you would think with 15 minutes to go, 2 points down, you know, they will be happy with the position they're in, given how they've played so far.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the scope to create plenty more as the teams come back out onto the pitch after this water break. Well, Doon are certainly back onto the pitch. Ahane taking every last second with Eamon Meskell as we look to our left here in the Ahane huddle, giving plenty of instructions to his charges. And Ahane now back out into the field. But that goal for Doon has brought them right back into this. Just 2 points in it now following that Tom Morrissey point before the water break. I'm just looking out for some changes here. Looks like Doon in their forward line have certainly stayed the same. Their back line looks fairly the same as well. So, and Ahane, I think Jerome have gone with the same 15 that finished up to that water break as well. So
there was actually just some running repairs to Adam English there, but he has just rejoined the fields just as that puck out was coming.
Yeah, he snuck onto the field. It was aimed towards him, but it's Dean Coleman that got to it first, and it's Eddie Stokes now has it for Doon. Eddie Stokes is Pat Ryan on the run. Ryan now maybe going for goal. He's got the legs on Dan Marcy, maybe takes the option to put it over the bar. That's exactly what Pat Ryan has done. And Jerome, he just kind of tested Dan Marcy there to see what he could do and just took the option to tap it over.
Yeah, I think he thought better of trying to go round Dan Morrissey and opted for the point, but it makes it a 1-point game now.
Yeah, and it's Pat Ryan winning this puck out again. Chance to level it. Decides to go towards Jack Ryan instead. Ryan just didn't get into his hand. Just took his eye off it maybe. He's got away from a couple of Ahane players. The pass maybe towards Josh Ryan didn't go to plan. And Ahane have got back in numbers now just with the attempt to dispossess. And it's Jeff Enright that has come out with it too. Andrew Shanahan. Shanahan now looking at his options. Goes low towards Tom Marcy. Should be meat and drink for Marcy. Dara Donovan has done well to get a little bit of a flick away though. And now it's Cian O'Donovan for Doon. O'Donovan with a shooting chance. He's straight towards the goal. The arm goes up into the air. Fist pump from Cian O'Donovan. His second point of the game has levelled this one at 1:13 apiece as Doon bring another sub onto the field. It's Michael Barry that comes on now. And it's going to be the end of Jack Ryan's afternoon. Just hasn't worked for Jack Ryan today, Jerome. A very, very talented player, but just hasn't been his day today.
No, but if you're Doon, you're very, very happy now. Game level for the first time after trailing by 7 points at half time. 13 minutes to go. You know, it's theirs to lose right now, given the momentum in this game, unless there's to be a swing back to Ahane.
Yeah, it's Paul O'Halloran trying to help Ahane with this one. Switches play. Richie English looking to win this one for Doon, but it's won well by Mark Donnellan. Donnellan's on the run to put Ahane up. Once more, he's put it to the right and wide, and Jerome, a glorious chance goes a-begging.
Yeah, I think you said it earlier in the commentary. Those were the ones that were going over in the first half, and they're just trickling wide of the posts in the second half. That brings them to 15 wides.
Adam English trying to win this one. It's going to fall to Patrick Cummins, and it's now Eddie Stokes as Jeff Enright's down injured, but great work again from the Ahane defence. It's Kieran Barry. Now it's Colm Carroll. Carroll, two players around him. Colm Carroll doesn't have the ball in his hand. He released it. Dean Coleman has won it back to Darragh O'Donovan for the lead score. Darragh O'Donovan with the strike for Doon, and that's the lead for Doon. Indeed it is from Darragh O'Donovan. Jeff Enright's in real trouble down in front of us for Ahane, but Jerome, Darragh O'Donovan coming up when he was needed. Brilliant score.
Yeah, great score. Just planted the feet when it was laid back to him and just went for it. Had the backing of that breeze. 48 minutes going ahead for the first time. You know, I can see Tony Ward down there. Never a very animated man on the sideline, but behind him, here in the stand, Doon are happy now. They know that they're in the driving seat. Probably going to be forcing off Jeff Enright here now as well. Say probably maybe a pull of the hamstring there. That certainly was holding that when he was down.
Yeah, and a couple of more subs for Ahane warming up. Kieran O'Mara is one. The other looks to be Mark Foley. They'll be introduced fairly quickly. It's Foley that's going in first anyway by the looks of things. Well, they're both going on. Kieran O'Mara and Mark Foley are on for Ahane. Jeff Enright is certainly one player that's gone off, and I think, is it Andrew Shanahan? It is indeed Andrew Shanahan's the other. So Kieran O'Mara direct replacement, you would imagine, for Andrew Shanahan.
Two replacements into that defence, and to be fair to them, they have been overworked for the opening 19 minutes of this half. They will need those fresh legs because Doon are buzzing now and full of movement.
Yeah, Micheál Ryan into Josh Ryan. Josh with the pass back towards Dean Coleman. He's got one as Dean Coleman. This is going to be a second for Dean Coleman. All of a sudden, Jerome, they're working through the gears, they're working through the lines that little bit easier, and the result is another score.
Yeah, that's 4 in a row now since we came back at the water break. Now they've turned a 7-point deficit into a 2-point lead.
Adam O'Brien with the puck out for an Ahane side that needs something and need it quickly here if they're going to have any hope of getting back into this game. It's whipped on first time by Patrick Cummins, and that may be a bit of room now for Adam English to do a few things here. He's got it onto the left hand side as Adam English is going to tail to the left hand wide though. Just enough work done back there by Evan O'Leary, I should say, and just put him off enough as Adam O'Brien takes this one quickly and short to Colm Carroll. Carroll back inside now to Padraig Harnett. Harnett coming out with it under pressure, gets the pass away to Carroll. Carroll delivers long in towards Ronan Fox. Fox with a great catch for Ahane, and Fox is on the run, tries to boot it over the bar, and that one, Jerome, After a great catch, he'd maybe had options either side of him that he didn't look. Went for the extravagant boot, didn't work out.
Yeah, maybe perhaps just a little bit of inexperience when he thinks back in it. Even if he had kept ball in hand, there was a chance he was probably going to be fouled.
Now it's Keane O'Donovan in plenty of space from that sharp puck out, tries to switch it towards Adam English. English gets the ball in his hand, should result in a score. Will it be a goal? Will it be a point? Gets challenged. English with the shot, that's gone to the left and wide. Jerome maybe overdid it a bit.
Yeah, but that man again, Evan O'Leary, was in there with a challenge, and anyone that's come his way, to be fair to him this opening half, he hasn't given him a sniff of possession.
Niall Moran takes that puck out, switches play. He's got Paul O'Halloran in a bit of space, but back there's Patrick Cummins, and Cummins did just enough to put O'Halloran off his ball. And it's Chris Thomas now finds Cummins again with the short hand pass. Cummins, not the best of strikes in the world. It's going to drop to Kieran O'Mara. O'Mara didn't catch it first time under immediate pressure. He's got the ball in his hand second time round though, and plays it inside the hand pass to Mark Foley. Mark Foley now coming forward towards Tom Marcy. Marcy, beautiful turn from Marcy. Goes with the strike for the point. That's an outrageous effort from Tom Marcy. And Jerome, it's an outrageous score as well.
Yeah, I think we could see that dummy coming from up here, and Patrick Cummins probably knew it was coming as well. But that's what Tom Morrissey does, and great score, and one that's needed for his side. Not the first time that he has stepped forward when Ahane have needed it.
Yeah, that's another one for Tom Morrissey. It's 1-4 from the game, 1-3 for play from Tom Morrissey, and Dean Coleman is going to have to come off for certainly a little bit here. Medical attention needed. Blood sub is the call from referee Jason O'Mahony. So Dean Coleman in a fair bit of trouble down below us here. Just a bit of blood to the nose, maybe a stray hurley. Jerome didn't see anything in it other than what could have been accidental, and it's going to be Jack Ryan back on the field. So maybe Jack Ryan, having initially thought his afternoon was over, has another chance now to make an impact in this game. It's gone short again here, and half hooked was Pádraig Ryan. It's gone straight to Jack Ryan anyway. Kieran O'Mara's tight, a shove in the back from Kieran O'Mara, and needless free. Jerome, there were 50-50 ball, he didn't need to do it.
No, I think he just got himself probably too close into Jack Ryan at that stage, and when he went move for possession, the feet got tangled. But this would ordinarily be an easy free from Adam English, but with him off the field now, it looks like, is it going to be
no, it's Dean Coleman that's off the field. It's
Dean Coleman.
Oh
yes, so it's Adam English on the freeze.
Yeah, and Adam English Drum noticeably as well, taking his time to go out to take this one.
It's been a frantic second half so far. There's no doubt about it. The intensity has gone up.
English with the strike to put Doon 2 points to the good once more, and easy as you like for Adam English. Another score for him. 7 overall for English. All but one coming from place balls. This one goes short to Kieran Barry. Barry tries to switch play into the full forward line towards Mark Donnellan. But good work from Pádraig Ryan there, just making sure Donnellan didn't get that one. Ryan kicks it along again. It's fallen well for Micheál Ryan there for doing it. Ryan is still going here, delivers a low one in towards Josh Ryan. Josh now tries to flick it away, but Kieran O'Mara is there, and Pádraig Harnett just doing anything, but he's kicked it into the hands of Patrick Cummins. Cummins on the run here, great block back, great work from Dan Minnan to get that block in, and it's Evan O'Leary with the clearance. I don't think he saw the Doon man there, but Niall Moran hasn't kept that in play. Just a little flick, didn't come into his hand, despite the protestations of Eamon Meskell. The sideline ball goes to Doon. And Jason O'Mahony going to have a word with Eamon Meskell here as well, as William Brennan comes on for Ahane, wearing number 15. Was listed to start was William Brennan, and the substitute is Mark Donnellan that's going to depart for Ahane. Mark Donnellan, Jerome, a very good first half. He struggled in the second half though. Yeah,
the second half, the quality ball hasn't been going in for that Ahane forward line at all, and also, the Doon defence have certainly upped their game as well, as have Doon across the field, but noticeably from the defence out, they were winning ball and first to balls that they were second to in the opening half.
Fine sideline cut from Darragh O'Donovan right into the middle towards Micheál Ryan, but Ahane through Evan O'Leary again, but good work again from Micheál Ryan, who's had a huge impact as Pat Ryan takes this one on 45 metre line from Pat Ryan. Looks to be a fine effort from Ryan. It's a third score for Pat Ryan, but Jerome, we mentioned it at half time when Micheál Ryan came on, very experienced player. He's been a huge impact sub for Doon. Yeah, and it's just a little turnovers, a little turnover, a little flick out to Pat, he applies the finish. It's Micheál Ryan now with the strike for Doon. Is it another score for Ryan? It isn't. The first it would have been for him having come on, but it's gone to the left and wide. But with 55 and a half minutes played here at the LIT Gaelic Grounds, it's Doon leading Ahane 117 to 114 as Adam O'Brien aims for Niall Moran. Moran flicks it inside, but it's just to Richie English. Ronan Fox unable to get near it. English now tries to switch it towards Pat Ryan. There's too much on that one. It's gone out over the sideline. So Drome, we're in the final stage of this game. Ahane need a goal. They need it badly.
They do, yeah. But we're not seeing any goal mouth action from them, to be honest. The Doon half backline have really stepped it up. Doon midfielders have stepped it up.
Noticeable as well that Dan Morrissey has pushed up a bit as this ball goes in to the full forward line, and Tommy Hayes and Paul O'Halloran. Maybe a needless free, but a chance for Tom Morrissey to get another free and just make it back to 2 points again.
Yeah, look, they're keeping it that score game really for the last couple of minutes, and that's what they will want, and hope that they can nick something at the end. From their point of view, it's just about trying to win the game at this stage. In terms of overtaking Doon, the scoring would appear against them coming down the home stretch.
So Morrissey from just outside the 21 metre line, chance to reduce Doon's lead to 2 points yet again. Should be a regulation one, you'd imagine, for a free taker of Tom Morrissey's quality. And the lines, or the umpire, I should say, go straight to the flag. So it's a second free of the game for Tom Morrissey. And Ahane back to 2 point deficit once again. 57 minutes played here at the LIT Gaelic Grounds, and it's Doon leading 117 to 115 as Chris Thomas goes on the run with this one. Challenge was coming from Paul O'Halloran, but Thomas has done brilliantly well to find Cummins. Patrick Cummins now from very long range outside the 65. Doesn't have the accuracy, and this occasion Patrick Cummins has found another wide. That's 20. That's up to 20 now as they look to win this one again. Josh Ryan passes on for Richie English, and Richie English is heading towards goal. A goal here would finish this game for Doon. Plays it across the edge of the squares. Pat Ryan, brilliant finish from Ryan. Absolutely gorgeous finish. The ball across from English. Didn't look to be the best of balls. Pat Ryan didn't matter from an acute angle, Jerome. He's finished this game off.
Yeah, great score from him. Really was wondering why, probably Richie had his defensive mind on and thought, not to take the shot himself. But Pat Ryan finished it brilliantly. Came across him, caught it on the bounce, sent it back across the goalkeeper into the far top corner. Real poacher's finish. And as you said, done deal now. Doon, directly into a semi-final, or certainly odds on for it. That'll put Paddy Swell into a quarter-final, and Ahane into the relegation playoff against Ballybrown.
Yeah, and just that goal again, Jerome. He hadn't scored in the first half, struggled to get into it. And Pat Ryan, the last quarter, is 1-3 to his name. Typical of the man. Yeah,
and he just needs the possession going into him. To be fair, Doon just weren't winning that middle third in the first half. It was the amount of times we mentioned Dan Morrissey, Kieran Barry, Daniel Minihan. These guys were all on top. It flipped in the second half. Ball is now going into Pat Ryan, and he'll get you the return. Tom
Morrissey with this regulation free again for Ahane. He's popped it over the bar again. Has Tom Morrissey. So another free for Morrissey. Cuts Doon's lead to 217 to 116, but as Jerome O'Connell mentioned, odds on now for Doon to be in a semi-final and Patrick Swell to be in a quarter-final. And from Ahane's point of view, it's a relegation playoff against Ballybrown in the offing for them as Tom Morrissey takes it again. Got Dan Minihan on the run with him. He's gone on his own as Morrissey. Tom Morrissey now still going, brilliantly hooked by Eddie Stokes, and again blocked by Chris Thomas as Morrissey. Just the options fell for him there. But Doon not out of danger yet, but they've got it away now. It's Micheál Ryan again with an impact, playing this one out towards Pat Ryan and Josh Ryan again. That one's just going to have that little bit too much pace though, and it's gone out over the sideline. We're in the final minute of regulation time here at the LIT Gaelic Grounds, and it's Doon that have that 4 point lead. There's this sideline ball by Mark Foley. Just told to go back by the linesman. It's a poor one from Mark Foley. Only goes a yard, and Adam English a bit quicker than he's gone for free. He's told to slow down by his sideline. But it'll be Adam English looking to put this to a 5 point lead again. So English just about 30 meters or so away from the goal, but with the angle, maybe push that over to 40 metres. It's a beautiful strike from Adam English, but doesn't have the accuracy, not enough whip on that. From left to right and tails to the right and wide. A quick puck up from Adam O'Brien to Dan Minihan. Minihan tries to go along with it, blocked by Cian O'Donovan. Minihan now has Kieran Barry in the middle. Barry from his own 65. You'd imagine he's trying to deliver, and he's delivered inside to the full forward line. There's a good catch inside there. Is there a foul? The hand pass comes. It's going to be flicked across again, but Tommy Hayes is there for Doon. Hand pass out to Richie English, and all of a sudden, Jerome, it's that little bit easier for Doon. Yeah,
look, there's a pep in the Doon step right now. Everything they're touching now is going right for him.
Adam English with a gorgeous turn against Colm Carlin. The finish to match as well. Adam English, it may not be 16 points, Jerome, but he's been a bright light for Doon yet again.
Yeah, he has, and look, they will look to the second half as the positive, but they will also look to the first half as where there's plenty lessons for him to learn ahead of a semi-final.
And that's exactly what Tony Ward and his management team will look for as Tommy Hayes comes out with this one. He's been dispossessed on. Tom Morrissey has it in hand. Has Tom Morrissey been fouled? Jason Ahane, the referee from Kildimo Palace Kenry, says yes. And Jerome, there's no other option but to go for goal here, you'd imagine.
Yeah, I suppose they can still get the result, which would give them bragging rights out east. But anything other than avoiding the relegation, scoring just works against them at this stage. But Niall Moran has scored many of these down the years, and I'm sure he'll have a crack at it. So
it's Niall Moran taking over this one ahead of Tom Morris. It's a low one, saved by the goalkeeper, Owen McNamara. It wasn't the best of shot from Niall Moran, and certainly the follow-up wasn't much better. So chance for Ahane, needing a goal to put this game back in the melting pot, as we've played nearly 2 minutes now of added time. We're at the discretion of referee Jason O'Mahony here, and it's Owen McNamara launches this one down the field. The full-time whistle goes here at the LIT Gaelic grounds, and it's Doon that have come out with 218 to 116 victory here over Ahane. It's them straight into a semi-final, confirms Patrick Swell's place in the quarter-final. And Jerome, we said at half-time, Doon needed something special in the second half to get back into this game. May not have been at a 100% level, but it was enough to get him through to a semi-final.
Yeah, it was, and I think management will probably have got the response that they would have wanted in that second half. Maybe the intensity, the work rate wasn't there in that opening half. They weren't winning the breaking balls. Ahane were on top of all of those. Niall Moran, Dan Morrissey, Tom Morrissey, Kieran Barry, Denny Meenan were all on top in the opening half. But, clearly Doon up the ante in the second half. Their key players came into the game, and you just sensed bit by bit they were getting there. And in the end, probably just about the deserving winners. They got the scores down the home stretch. That's when it matters. And they're after hitting 218, still hit 21 wides. So plenty of room for improvement. But that said, they're into the semi-finals, 100% record. From their point of view, it's the first phase of the season. Job done.
Exactly that, as Doon make their way into the semi-final. That's the first game done and dusted here at the LIT Gaelic grounds. We'll be back at 6 p.m. for the game between Adair and Kildimo Palace Kenry. A big crowd expected for that game here at the LIT Gaelic grounds. But for now, it's all about Doon that have reached the semi-final of the Bon Secours Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship at the expense of Ahane, who will have a relegation playoff with Ballybrown in the coming weeks to look forward to, well, maybe not to look forward to from their point of view. That's all from us at the LIT Gaelic grounds. As I said, Doon beating Ahane by 218 to 116. It's they that have booked their spot in the last four. Join us at 6 p.m. where Mal Keaveney will be with Jerome O'Connell on Limerick GATV for that Adair versus Kildimo Palace Kenry game. From all of us here at Limerick GATV, thanks for watching, and join us again at 6 p.m.